Hey, so today I'm going to show you, open a cheese with you. This is the Lancashire cheese, if you can see it. I made it on November 5th and packaged it on the 9th, and it's supposed to be ready December 7th, and it is now January 19th. So it's plenty ready. You can see that the package has like water in it. It's kind of like drippy, which I'm not sure what that means. Some of my cheeses that have been wet when I bring them out of the bag, it's actually really good, but I don't quite think it's a good sign. So I'm gonna cut into it and we will see, how this is. Looks really gross. There's like, it looks like baby vomit is in here, and I'm a little worried. Ooh, there's a lot of water in there. There's like, you see all that. Gross. But you know, maybe we should just let it air for a little bit. I don't know. It's like really wet. It's like slimy, but okay. That feels better. Here's what it looks like. Smells, I'm not sure. Sharp. There's like a little bit of moisture in it still. Wow. This really, I wonder what my notes say. It's actually yummy. It's kind of soft. It's not rubbery at all, which is good. There's not a ton of flavor. Let me check my notes. Hang on. I want to see what I wrote. For this one, which was made 2 days later, and I'm tasting it over a month after it's ready. I made it with 4 gallons of milk, 1 quart of cream from the store. I used 4 scant tablespoons of salt. It overfilled the press. It smelled really sweet. It was really big. And it said it was cracking on the outside when it was air drying. So I don't know what any of that means, but the recipe for Lancashire is kind of like doing a cheddaring process where you take the slabs and you turn them over and stack them on top of each other a little bit, and you cut it into pieces and add the salt. I really don't have much to say, except I don't know if it's good or not. I don't know. I mean, it's fun, but there's a brightness to it. It doesn't quite have the mellowness, and I would kind of like that mellowness, and I would kind of like more of a flavor to it. I don't know if you can see in this, but can you see how the light is shining off of it? How it's kind of wet. I don't know how that's gonna work, but that's the part that I'm worried about. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna re-vac pack this and cut this in half and re-vac pack it. And then get this part out for eating. I'd go for macaroni and cheese for sure. But it's not exciting. I'm not thrilled. So we'll see. Hey, I'm back again. I just wanted to tell you what I've decided to do. I am taking this half that's all wet and I'm covering it in salt. And I actually am going to take this brine, saturated brine, and that I made a while ago. It's been in the fridge. And I'm going to submerge this in it. Actually, I'm going to submerge this. I might do both. And so I'm going to submerge them and try to maybe do, let's say 2 or 3 hours in the saturated brine, and then air dry it again, like it's its own cheese, and then vac pack it. The reason for that is I am curious as to how cheeses, as they are maturing, at what points you can like step in and make tweaks to the recipes. Like this one wasn't quite salty enough, it didn't have as much flavor, so it's been at like 55 degrees this whole time, 55 degrees, can I, like I just did, cut into it and then add salt, maybe for like a day at room temperature or so, even though it's like 2 months old, and then reseal it and then age it again, and what will be like then. And if I do these, like this is almost like the texture of feta. So maybe I could, I don't know, make Lancashire feta. Like you can do anything with cheese. The recipes are just guides, but so many things vary from the type of milk to your location to the weather, to different ingredients and salt and what kind of cultures you used. So the sky's the limit. I can do whatever I want. And if this tastes like feta to me and I put it in a saturated brine and it becomes more feta-y, and then I air dry it and then I backpack it, then I have ready to go feta that's not in a brine because I backpacked it. I don't know, but this is the fun part of making cheese. The fun part of making cheese, and I'm far enough along in this process that I can start winging it, and I have a little bit of a sense, not much of a sense, but a little bit of a sense. And I'm not good at explaining the science of this or why it's happening, but it's not salty enough, so I'm going to add salt, and maybe that will work. We'll see. So, more later. So, if I'm going to take these 2 cheeses and I'm going to put them in here, that might not be big enough. I'm just going to do grumble, grumble. Let's do this bowl. Put these in here like this. Now I have enough brine. I'm actually going to put them with the cut side down so it gets in the brine more. It can be more because there. And then I'm going to salt the top that's exposed. So cover up these. Any exposed area gets salted. So there's the salt brine is done, and this one, I'm doing this. I'm going to air dry it a little bit more, make it really thick. You can see how the moisture is getting wet. I mean, the salt is getting wet from the moisture, which means it's going to be absorbing. Nicholas, stop laughing at me. Can't do this and work one-handed at the same time. Hello, I am back. This is the next day, and I wanted to show you what I did with the Lancashires. They didn't quite work as well as I had thought they were going to, at all. This is the Lancashires that I had submerged in the brine, and they are drying out a little bit, which is good. But I ate some last night and it was really salty, like feta, but quite salty. So I don't know if I maybe brined it too long. It was maybe about 3 hours, 4 hours, no longer. It should not have been any longer. And this one just had salt that I had rubbed on the top. Feels a little bit slimy. Anyway, I'm going to wrap these today because I think they need to get into a package now. I'm also going to cut and wrap this Colby that I did. So, yeah, that's what's going to happen right now. When I backpack the Lancashire, any cheeses, they are continuing to age. They're making their own little cheese cave in the bag. The Colby that you see in front, I will also be backpacking it shortly, but I don't think I show you footage from that very much. You'll see it later. What I was cutting out earlier was like these just little red spots that were in the cheese, and I don't know if I had used a dirty knife. I made pizza last night, or if my hands were dirty with something. I don't think it's already starting to grow anything. And this one you can also see it's kind of like a crusty white. I don't know what that is because it was just in all that salt. I don't think it matters. I'm going to say it doesn't matter and just package it as I would the other ones. I kind of want to leave this one out to eat it, but I already have enough cheese in the fridge. Okay, so that is all of the cheese I'm packaging up for today. This is the cheese book that I use for making the Colby. And the Colby, I should just weigh it just to be sure. But this is what I've got. So this one's the one going in. This is my 57th cheese. 6 3/4 pounds. And these are the ones that were salt brined for several hours. I said yesterday that they tasted like feta, and they don't taste that much like feta today. It's more of a crumbly, soft cheese. So I'm wondering if as it ages, if it will get stronger and drier and more crumbly. Like, did I draw out enough of the moisture to be more like a similar type cheddar? We'll see.